What's up, y'all? This is BoxingWave. Let's talk Gabriel Rosado against David Lemieux. I did a prediction video for that, and the fight didn't go quite the same as I predicted and most people predicted. I think most people would have agreed with me that David Lemieux was going to either stop him early or Gabriel Rosado was going to make a comeback and either stop him late or beat him by decision. Okay, that's what I thought the fight was going to go. I thought Gabriel Rosado, I'm a big fan of him, so I probably was a little biased. All right, I thought Gabriel Rosado was gonna find a way to pull off the win late in the fight, okay, or by decision. And it started to look that way. There was times where, like, the thing with David Lemieux is he's offense. He's all offense. Okay, this guy is a big puncher. He has that bull Mike Tyson type of fighting style where he's just gonna come swinging with nothing but power, nothing but bombs early, all right? And it seemed to be going in his favor a little bit. Gabe Rosado was outboxing the first 2 rounds. I gave Gabe the first round. The second round, I gave the edge to Lemieux, okay? But Gabe was doing pretty well for him and for early. I thought Lemieux was gonna, do a lot early, like better early as soon as the bell rung. And then like here comes a third round where Lemieux really hurt Gabe, put him down, and ever since that it was all like the 4th round was a great round. That was definitely like top 10 rounds of the year. That 4th round there where it was back and forth. But even when the thing with Gabe, when Gabe hurt him and backed him up, it just showed how Lemieux, to me, like Lemieux going backwards is not that great of a fighter. If you hit Lemieux, he doesn't seem like a guy that has a great chin to me, and he kind of folds to me when he gets hit. But the thing is, Gabe is like a good puncher. He's not a huge puncher, so it never fazed him enough to like slow Lemieux down. Just for a short period of time, Lemieux. But as soon as Lemieux hit him with like a hook right away, that one punch Lemieux would hit him with, it's like Gabe backed up and it just turned the whole fight around every single time. Gabe showed a lot of heart in there and everything, but he just didn't have it in there. Lemieux was just too strong. Lemieux just hits too hard, and by the time the second half of the fight started, Gabe was already just too beaten down to really be a threat for Lemieux. He had his moments in there, but he just doesn't have the power to really put him away. And even though he was the better boxer between the two, he's not like an elite boxer. He doesn't have the skills to, like really make Lemieux miss his shots and just overall defensively. Like, he's a better defender, he's a better mover in there, but he's not on an elite level where it really made a difference, so Lemieux, ended up stopping him in, I believe the 10th round. And, everyone, and the main thing I wanted to talk about is that everyone wants the Triple G fight. I know Twitter that night, everyone was saying that they want to see the Golovkin fight between David Lemieux. And me personally, I don't think David Lemieux is ready for Golovkin at all, okay? I think would like to see David Lemieux fight like a Peter Quillin or Danny Jacobs or a Matt Karabov who's fighting this weekend. I just still don't think Lemieux is ready on that Golovkin level. You look at the Rubio fight. It's the same thing. Rubio was getting knocked around for 7 rounds, and he took David Lemieux's power very well. I mean, he still looked fine. He wasn't bruised, he wasn't bloody, and he was able to come back and knock David Lemieux out. Okay. But then you saw when Rubio got in there with Golovkin, he didn't want any parts of Golovkin. Okay, he got hit with Golovkin shots, and he was down, and he did not get back up on time. And I don't think he wanted to get back up. All right, so there's a difference in skills, and if I think HBO, these guys over there, HBO and stuff, they know what they're doing. Gabe Rosado is a warrior. He's gonna put on a good fight. He has a lot of heart and determination. But you know, it kind of worked in their favor because now you got everyone talking about David Lemieux right now. Everyone is talking about this guy and possibly fighting Triple G. And HBO will probably make that happen this year. You know, whether it's the next fight or the fight after. You know, I'm sure if David Lemieux keeps winning and Golovkin beats Martin Murray, which is expected, I'm sure they're going to put the fight together. You know, it could be at Barclays. It could be at Madison Square Garden, you know. So David Lemieux, they probably set David Lemieux up with a couple more fights, but eventually the fight between him and Golovkin will happen if these guys both keep winning. But that fight will be another quick knockout for Golovkin, in my opinion, okay? Because Golovkin hits him. You know, Lemieux has power, but Golovkin is on a level where he's alone. He's by himself. Him, Thurman, guys like Kovalev, they're on a whole another league when it comes to power. And Golovkin actually has boxing skills. Lemieux, I really don't see the same type of skill set in his game, you know. Like I say, Rosado was good. You know, he was slipping his punches and making them miss. But he wasn't really making them pay for it. And he doesn't really have the power. You know, Brian Vera is just, you know, knocking him out in BKB. Brian Lara is like, you know, he's like an above average fighter. You know, he's not really like a top level fighter. And even though he did good against Chaves, I think, you know, Gabe, you know, and that's where I picked up the win. You know, I thought Gabe coming off in the win there, you know, he got a lot of, you know, he has a lot of confidence going into this fight. And I thought, you know, he was going to stick around and survive the storm. You know, because he was getting beaten down by Quillen as well. And he came back and he started looking like the fight was going into his favor. But they stopped it because of the cut. But it didn't work out for him in this time. And I really don't, you know, I like Lemieux. But before they get in there, he get in there with Triple G. I want to see him fight some of the other tough guys at 160. Because he's just going to be another guy that's going to get stopped in 2 or 3 rounds, in my opinion. All right. So anyway, that's what I think. I see everyone is comparing Lemieux and just talking about Triple G. Everyone is going to do that at 160 because so far no fighter has had any hope of beating Golovkin. And you know, whenever does someone else have a big win, they automatically put him up there with Golovkin. Like, oh, let's see the Golovkin fight, especially because Lemieux has a lot of power and he's knocking guys out. But Golovkin, as far as what I've seen, he seems to have a great chin. You know, knocking out Gil when Gil threw his best punch. You know, knocking him out while he was unbalanced. Taking left hooks from Curtis Stevens and seemed to, you know, take him well. Like he seems to be taking punches pretty well. All right, so I just don't think Lemieux, who was throwing bombs and landing bombs against Rubio, and couldn't get him out of there, you know, for 7 rounds, just landing bombs, couldn't get Rubio out of there. But see what happened when Golovkin got in there. Rubio got him out of there quick. All right, so I just don't think Lemieux is good on that level yet. I just don't think he's that good. But if they make the fight, let it happen. You know, he'll just be another victim. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to give you my review. Be on the lookout. I got some more videos to do, so be on the lookout for those. And check you on the next one.